Hello, Lauren and team. I am Ronnie Chima. I am 35 years old. I currently live in Redwood City, California, which is just next door to Palo Alto and directly in between San Francisco and San Jose. So I'm on the peninsula, sandwiched amongst all these incredible food cities. The reason why I'm doing this video is because I like to tell you a story about the time I actually went to Gaziantep, Turkey for a kebab. The kebab was meant to be the world's best kebab, and one restaurant in particular, and this restaurant is also meant to have the best baklava in the world. So at the time I lived in South Korea, and I had 2 weeks vacation in the summer, and I decided to go back to Turkey, not just also for the kebab, but also because I wanted to visit the town of Hasankeyf, which is on the Tigris River, and it's a city that has had 9 different civilizations living in it. It's along the spice route, or I think it's the spice route, not the silk route. And it's endangered of being flooded by a dam that the government is building on the Tigris because they want more fertile land. So I got to see this thing. It's epic. And then along the way, I'm definitely going to eat all the kebabs and all the baklavas. So I go to Istanbul first, where I spend a couple of nights there. Then I took a 45-minute flight to Gaziantep. Keeping in mind, I've been living in Korea, and now that I'm traveling and I'm a backpacker, I have no idea what's happening in Syria. And Gaziantep is about 2 hours from the Syrian border. So once I got there, the air was really, really heavy, and I didn't know why that was. And I just continued to go about my way, and eventually I made it to the restaurant. So this restaurant used to be a stall, and they only sold kebabs, and eventually let's say the stall stayed in place and they built a restaurant around the kebab. So I made my way over there, and I'm really excited. I wore a very nice conservative dress, and I went to eat this kebab because that's what it deserves, a beautiful dress. And as soon as I got there, I looked at the menu, and keep in mind, I was a backpacker and I was an English teacher in South Korea. So money was really tight. In Gaziantep, I expected the kebab to be like $3, but no, it was like an $18 kebab. And I was outraged, and I'm like, how dare you price this way? And I'm like, Ronnie, you flew all the way to Gaziantep, Turkey. You're eating this freaking kebab. I ate it. It was amazing. And I just couldn't get enough of it, and I couldn't communicate with the waiter and I did my best. I used my Google Translate, and I tried to communicate with him to let him know that this was amazing, but he was just like, okay, what else do you want? So I ordered the baklava, and the thing is, and this is a deal breaker for most guys I date, most of my chef friends, and might be a deal breaker for you. I have food allergies, and it's sesame seed and pistachios. 2 of the most delicious things and things I used to love to eat. So I can't have regular baklava. So I was like, how do I ask this guy if they have walnut baklava? Because people do it both ways. They had walnut baklava. I ate it. It was okay. People say it's the best in the world. It was just okay. It was very dry, overly sticky, and just very dry. I don't know how that happened, but it did. Anyway, it was amazing. The kebab. And then I made my way back to the bus station, where I actually had left my bags because I was just in Gaziantep for the day to have the kebab, and then I was going to get an overnight bus to Batman. Yes, Batman, Batman, to then catch my little $1 bus that also had chickens and crates of tomatoes to go to Hasankeyf, where I was starving, forgetting it was Ramadan, and there was one place that was open that was a restaurant on the Tigris. I went there, no one spoke English, and I also didn't want to speak English because a part of me was just like, the price is going to skyrocket here. And I was like, I only speak Spanish. And then there's a girl and her family. This girl, mind you, Hasankeyf is not a tourist destination or anything. This girl's like, oh, in Spanish. I speak Spanish. And the thing is my Spanish isn't that great. I'm fluent when I've had a couple of glasses of wine. But so she walks over and I'm like, oh, crap. I don't speak Spanish. So then I said a few things. And she's like, okay. So the guy walks away and I told her, I don't speak Spanish. I only speak English. And she goes, good, don't speak English here. The prices will skyrocket for you. Would you like to join me and my family? So then I ended up sitting with her and her family, having tea. Her aunt is born and raised in Hasankeyf. So was his uncle, but their uncle moved out of town and he was in for the day. And their aunt was just in love with me because we looked very similar. She actually looked like my grandmother, and she had tattoos all over her face. She was completely covered. She couldn't stop hugging me and touching me and kissing me on the cheek. She was so excited. And then they were like, we never get to talk to anybody who's not from here. And that was a really exciting experience for me. And I told them I was from I didn't want anyone to know I was from New York City, just because in Istanbul, in the bigger cities, whenever somebody finds out I'm from New York, I speak English, I'm American, I get harassed. But what I realized being in the countryside, there's a lot more to this story, by the way, but what I realized in the countryside, people are more interested and fascinated by that. They're not wanting to hustle you like in a big city like Istanbul. They're not looking to do that. They're looking to learn more about you and connect. And that's the thing that actually kind of started me on this path of looking to connect with people and also bridging that cultural gap so we can learn from each other. But this woman loved me. At the end, I told her niece, the girl who spoke English, German, Turkish, and Spanish, told her, let them know I'm from New York. And holy crap, her mind was blown and she had so many questions, but her kids, her niece and nephew just wanted to go to the river because it was really hot. My flip-flops were melting. And she just wanted to be there with me. She wrote her phone number down. She's like, you have to come back. And it's something I have been wanting to do. That was in 2012. And I still haven't been back. I don't know if she's still around or whatever, but I look forward to visiting her again one day. That's it. That's my kebab story. All of this from the fact I wanted to eat a kebab.